All right, welcome into Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. It's Friday, right? You got that Friday feeling. Well, let's get after it and see what these markets are doing. Now, I did the radio show a little earlier. Commodity Rep kickoff, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Let's see what things have changed since then. But I think things have gotten a little bit better. Or maybe we'll take a look. Maybe not. Here we go. We're a couple pennies better in the corn. Let's look at SEP, 2 3/4 better. That is 483.5. Just couldn't hang on to the gains. We're about 3 cents from the lows again. Look at that. We had about a 10 cent, we're 10 cents from the high. We've had about a 13 cent range. So 3 cents from the bottom of a 13 cent range. That'll give you an idea about what's been happening there. I don't like to see D's corn underneath $5. But folks, it just seems that, we get these moves overnight and we fade them in the morning, and here we are. We're below $5 again, 3 cents higher there. 496.5 is last there, 3.5 cents from the low, and that too's had about a 13 cent range. That's going to give you the feeling about corn. Beans, a little bit better, about a dime across the board. SEP's the laggard, 7 cents higher there, 13.89 even as last. I'm going to call that the middle of the day's range, all right? And then we've got, in that range, by the way, is about 21 cents. Let's go to November. That's up 11. That's the new crop, 13.36 last there, and that too is about, or 11, well, let's see, what are they? 15 cents off the lows and about 8 cents off the highs. That'll give you an idea where we sit in the middle of the range. But it's still, I'm going to call that the middle of the range. Let's not get too picky. But that's soybeans in Chicago. Now let's go to the wheat in Chicago. That's up 7 cents in SEP. That's front. 634 is last there. That's in the middle of the range. And that range is about 26 cents. And we've got a decent wheat price in Chicago of 7.5 cents higher. 662.5. There you go. Boy, the coffee's kicking in, isn't it? Jeez. Hard red wheat in Kansas City, that's lower. 6.5 cents lower there in that SEP to 761, even 2 cents off the lows there. That's trading heavy, folks. And we've had about a 26 cent range, I'm going to call that. And then East is down 7 cents in Kansas City. 775 is last, a penny and a half off the lows there. And we've had another decent range there of about 26 cents. So that's going to paint the picture for wheat in Kansas City, hard red. Let's go to the spring. This one's kind of trying to hang on to unchanged on the day. SEP's up just a half, 2 ticks. 834 evens last, 3 cents from the lows, though, and we've had a 19 cent range. And if we go to the D, sets up 1 1/4 cents to 848 3/4. Again, 3 3/4 cents off the lows there, and we've had, that's got about that 17 cent range. That's spring wheat. Let's take a look at cotton, and we're going to get to our next guest analyst. Cotton, what's that got in store for us here today? A quiet board at 25 points higher, 84.95 is last. And that's about 19 points off of the high. Let's get to our guest analyst, and that's the venerable, famous Joe Lardy from CHS up in Minnesota, Inver Grove Heights. Thanks for being on the show. All right. What are your thoughts here, sir? I mean, a little fireworks overnight, but we just couldn't really hang on.
Well, it kind of seems like the trend is your friend. And right now the trend is lower. I mean, we've closed lower in D's corn 8 sessions in a row. Could today be 9? We've closed lower on D sweet 7 sessions in a row. Is today going to be 8? And it certainly feels, like you mentioned, looking at the ranges, we're a whole heck of a lot closer to the lows than we are the highs. And this market just doesn't feel like it has any strength. So if we close lower, in wheat and corn, not going to surprise me at all. The bean market has actually had some demand, so there's been a little bit of support and love for the bean complex. But the other products, I mean, we've thrown tons of bullish news at it, right? We've had the escalation of the conflict in Ukraine. We've had really warm temperatures with not much rain. And yet the market couldn't find any legs to rally, over the last 7-8 days. So I guess I would say this certainly feels like it's pointing lower again today.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And it's one of those things that a lot of folks don't understand, but you have to take a look at it psychologically, right? Not just fundamentally or technically, but, you have to think, if I'm going to buy this market, what's going to have to happen? What type of news has to come out there to attract a new buyer behind me so I can sell that for a profit to that person, right? That's what you kind of have to think about this. Like, so, all right, I want to get long, but what's got to come out that's going to force this thing to go higher or attract new buying to drive the market higher so that I can get out of my position? And that's really where we're at right now. Nobody can really think of anything that's going to bring new buying to the market, right?
Well, and especially when you look at the forecasts that we're coming into, we're on the tail end of the heat. And then, boy, every forecast that I'm looking at has very, very widespread and decent amounts of rain coverage in the next 10 days. And, you make beans in August, that would be one heck of a nice start for finishing out the bean crop and the corn crop as well. So there's just bearish news in front of us. So I agree with you, Scott. I think it's going to be really tough to feed a bull in this market.
And I think there's a little bit of nerves out there after that last downgrade. I know people have kind of tried to digest it through, but with that Fitch glitch, as I call it, there's been a little bit of risk off too. So people have kind of taken the ball and gone home. They don't want to play anymore. So we'll see when they start to come back. But there's a lot of things out there that I think is screaming the old lost in space, danger Will Robinson. And I think there's some people that are sitting on their hands right now. So I appreciate you coming on. Have a great weekend. That's Joe Lardy. He comes to us from Grove Heights, Minnesota with CHS. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. Suzanne's kind of expensive. We'll be right back after this.